Hey guys, I left from Pilos and I took a little bit of long trip to get here, following the advice of a good friend of mine, and arrived at this miracle church. The miracle church of Aghia Theodora Vastas is a church that was built in the 11th century after Christ. Well, the story is as follows. This village during the Byzantines was really raided by the bandits. So in those times, women couldn't fight against the bandits. So there was this girl, Theodora, who decided to defend her village. So she disguised herself into a male soldier and took part in the fight. She was killed eventually, but before she died, she said the following words: "Let my body become a church, let my blood become a water, a river, and let my hair become the forest." So the villagers were really moved about her courage, and they built this church behind me in her honor. So her body became a church, and the legend continues by saying that a river changed its course to pass beneath this church, underneath the church. So here is the river, and let's see about her hair. There are about 17 enormous maple trees and several small ones that grow up on the roof. Let's see them. What is interesting is that no roots are visible outside and inside the church, and the roof has only a few centimeters. The only roof that I could see is this one over here. You can imagine that 17 maple trees, they are a really heavy load for this roof. These enormous maple trees have also about 30 meters high, and they are growing exactly on the roof. Well, the University of Patras came here and made a survey to understand better this miracle, and they used modern technology, and they understood that these trees that are growing on the roof, they have their roots through this roof, going down through the gaps of the walls all the way to the ground. So the roots are making a net that actually is inside the walls and the roof of the church. And what is also interesting is that the load of these trees, they are not harming the church. Probably the only thing that harms are the fact that the roots are growing wider and they stress the rocks of the walls. But otherwise, the church is still in good shape after almost 1,000 years. They did make some works for strengthen the church, but nothing really big. As you can see, these pillars were added in order to strengthen this southern wall, which is almost intact. They said that only the north wall has some kind of peculiar void inside. Otherwise, the church still stands. Well, what I'm trying to say is that it's definitely a miracle of nature, and if you are a believer in God, that's definitely a miracle of God. And that's the best example of it. There are also other miracles related with this area. One is that beneath this church there are some unexplored caverns, and someone found 3 small statues which are today in Sparta Museum, which is not actually necessarily a miracle. The second one is that there is a footprint into a nearby village on a limestone rock, which is believed to be an imprint of a foot of Kolokotronis, the father of the national revolution of Greece. And the third miracle is related with a really ice-cold spring which is on top of a mountain, and the ice is so cold that someone couldn't keep his hand inside for more than 40 seconds. Well, ice-cold springs are around the world, almost all over the place. Probably for Greece, which is a really hot and dry area, this might be considered as a miracle. But what we have here could be definitely considered as a wonder. So this is Aghia Theodora of Vastas. It stands probably in the middle distance between Megalopolis and the archaeological site of Olympia. A beautiful area with mountains and mountains covered by forests and springs all over the place. It's a quite nice place to be in a hot summer. So this is Saint Theodora Vastas Church, the Miracle Church. See you next time.